After Kamaru Usman beat Gilbert Durinho Burns the other weekend, there was a lot of talk about GSP, George St. Pierre, returning to fight Usman for the welterweight championship. Now let me tell you why that isn't going to happen and why GSP would not want that fight. It's probably more likely that GSP would come back to fight Khabib in a fight that I personally think should be at around 165, maybe even 160, because it doesn't need to be for the 155-pound belt because neither one of them is going to defend that belt after that fight. So it's kind of a one-off super fight if they were to make that happen, and that's the only way GSP would want to come back. In fact, GSP recently stated that Khabib walks around heavier than he does, which I know from an inside source that Khabib has weighed 192 on fight week. Whether that was from a water load or not, I'm not quite sure, but he did hit 192 on the scale. Take that for what it's worth. So why wouldn't GSP come back to fight Usman? Well, let's face it. 1, it's a tougher fight, as Usman's a bigger, stronger opponent than Khabib. And 2, Khabib is the more popular fighter. As for the size, we all know that Usman is a very strong welterweight, and he also walks around somewhere close to 195 pounds. That's a big welterweight, and if you don't remember, when GSP moved up a weight class to 185 to fight Michael Bisping, he actually almost pulled out of that fight due to his inability to eat that much food and put on that much size. Now, there's no doubt that GSP is in shape. He's always in shape. Take a look at this video of him training. But see, this training is more stuff that he enjoys, gymnastics and swimming, compared to his old fight camp training where he was probably doing a lot more, boxing and jiu-jitsu and practicing his wrestling, which he probably still does as he enjoys martial arts. But is he in fight shape to fight someone that's like Usman, bigger and stronger and faster? I also think that fight against Khabib does way more for GSP's legacy than the fight with Usman does, and that's the only fight that GSP should ever come back for at this point. Now, with all that said, who do you think GSP should come back to fight, if he did come back at all? I personally think he's got a much better shot to take Khabib's undefeated record and add a loss to it than he would to come out of retirement to fight Usman.